Now I'd like to show you how to put this onto Musescore. So your idea that you figured out your slogan, we'll put it onto Musescore. I would, if you have an anacrusis, which is, that anacrusis is something that comes before your downbeat, always better. That's our first downbeat. So you'll feel when it feels like it's not quite there, and then there's the beginning of our song. Most of us have discussed that. But if you're not sure and you feel like there's a bit of an anacrusis, start on that strongest beat. It always. So I'm going to start on the second bar and leave this first bar to do the anacrusis. When I write in here, I have to change this. This is a semi-breve, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you that. It's a semi-breve rest at the moment. It takes up the whole bar. So what I need to do is divide my bar into little pieces. Each one of these patterns, remember, is one beat long, or one crotchet long. So the first thing to do is to select that and make that into a crotchet. I'll probably do that with both of those. So now I have 4 beats to deal with. My first beat is always, and these 2 notes here are actually individual quavers. So when you have one beam like that, you've got quavers because it has one flag. When you have 2 beams like this, or in the ticka-ticka, it's the same as a note with 2 flags, and that's a semi-quaver. So for right now, I've got 2 quavers. I'm not going to put in crotchets and try and find some magical way to stick them together, because they're not crotchets, they are quavers. So what I do is I choose a quaver, and that'll turn that rest into the quaver rest, the same quaver rest that we see here with CT, and I'll choose the note. And because we're not worried about pitch just yet, I'm just going to choose that pitch. I put in 2 of them, and automatically Musescore makes them look like that TT. The next one I put in are 2 semi-quavers. So I'm on the next beat. Semi-quaver has 2 flags, 2 semis, and then it's got a quaver because there's only 1 beam there. That means the next note only has 1 flag, and I put a quaver there. If I was mistaken and I did the wrong thing and I did that, oh my goodness, hit the escape key on the keyboard. See how it's still blue? As long as the note is blue, it will react. I'll turn that into a quaver. And now I've got that same pattern. The next one is another TT. So that one's pretty simple. Quaver, note, and then plonk them in. And then this one is 1 little beam with a dotted quaver. Sorry, two beams, 1 long beam, 1 short beam. So that means it's a 2-beamer, semi-quaver. And then the next one is, there's our rhythm dot right there. And it makes exactly that pattern. Again, if you forgot to add the dot, you can go back and you can add it later. If you forgot to add the dot, it would look like that. And it has a little semi-quaver, and it's telling you that it's missing something. You want a nice clean score that's all filled in without any rests, unless you're doing the anacrusis. Now the anacrusis is only that last beat. You see how it's that ZT pattern? T, T, Z, T. So I'm going to do the same exact process, but I'm going to make sure, break that into beats, crotchet beats. I'm going to make sure I only deal with the last one. And the last one is a ZT, so there's my Z, and there, that note is my T. And so now what I've got is, it's always better with lots of chitter. So that's how I get the anacrusis, is just leaving that whole bar. To be really technical, I should make that as big as I can and make that into a 2-beat rest. If you leave it like this, it's not the end of the world. Now in the next video, I'll show you how to add those lyrics.